We're packing up and leaving Hong Kong. Together with my girlfriend, we're leaving. So we have a few places in mind and some experiences we want to take care of. There you go. Parts of the boxes. There's some other boxes somewhere sitting. So we are packing life again. But right now, it's together. I've been traveling and have been a nomad for close to 15 years or maybe more now. So this whole process, it's normal to me, but I believe it becomes complicated when you build a life over years with clutter and stuff and things you're buying, and then you need to sell stuff and maybe you need to give away stuff. So it can be a complicated process. I just want this to be a video about life transitions. I want this video to be, maybe you find yourself in this process of contemplating of living your own city, quitting your job, exploring, finding yourself, going on a spiritual journey, whatever that might be to you. So I think this video has to do with that. I'm not saying you need to quit whatever you're doing in your life, but I'm just saying that if there's an ache in your heart, you feel like there's something much more out there, maybe you should listen to that call. I've been listening to it since I was 18, and that was the right call for me. And it's definitely not easy. Everyone's circumstances are different. I'm lucky to be able to work remote, and it's not always easy, you know. My girlfriend is at some point she's quitting her job, so she has to start a new life too, where she had a salary. So it will be interesting to see how she transitions and pivots her own life and our life together. I haven't been put in a position like that in the past. It was just myself alone in the past, but it was different. So definitely we are quite busy these days packing. What I want to share with you is, if you have an ache in your heart, go for it, explore it, see where that leads you to. The life you build for a week, for a month, for 10 years, maybe it's not having to do with the elements that you see physically, with the material things. Maybe the life you're working on, it's a journey. Maybe it belongs in different areas of the world. Maybe you're supposed to explore different parts of yourself. And what we are doing, it's calling all day different companies to pick up the furniture, throw this, throw that. And it can be a massive undertaking, especially mentally draining as well. And, also dealing with families and why are we living? What are we going to do? And for me, it's particularly difficult as well, because I didn't have to deal with that before. And maybe this has to do with integration as well, and how I am managing this situation. Maybe I wouldn't have an answer to these things. And luckily, it's 8 years now with the plans and the diets and everything. And I learned to just do one thing at a time. Did we pack today? Okay, let's move to the next thing. What can we sell? So batch it in different segments instead of being overwhelmed by everything at once. And we do have some planning done. And I hope it goes well. So, yeah, I'm going through an integration process as well and clearing different stages in my life. And in the end, I think it has to do with growth. And I'm open to that. And I know it leads to a good place. And I hope that I can make Peru my home base in January, hopefully. You can hear the ache, that calling, act on it, go on the journey, and land back in the same rooms, the same people, the same defaults, and the old life quietly closes over it. Now, the pattern doesn't survive because you're weak. It survives because nothing around it changed. At some point, the work stops being about insight and starts being about the waters you swim in. Not everyone needs to leave a country, but everyone eventually has to change something structural. The room, the work, the people, the boxes, the defaults, or it reinstalls itself. That's why everything I own is in boxes. Maybe you just end up in the same old life, the same patterns, the same environments, the same city, the same life, the same people, the same friends that maybe are not all supportive of you. So it doesn't matter what kind of journeys you go in, because it ultimately has to do with you and what you surround yourself with. So I'm not saying where we are, it's awful and bad and whatever, but ultimately we're making a decision for our growth together and the things that we want to share with the world and the things that we want to build, and ultimately a deeper happiness for ourselves as well. If I am not happy, how can I actually help somebody? And I believe happiness is something that we're working towards. So at the end of the day, you can go and have all those years, building the life you want, and maybe you end up being unhappy because maybe your environment didn't change with you. Because maybe you are supposed to be in a different environment or inspire a new one to be built. So I'm not saying you need to quit your life and go out there, quit the job, break down everything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you need to look at your own life and see where you are and take the best decisions for yourself. And yeah, even for us, we don't have full clarity on our finances and all of that good stuff, but we know this is the right thing. And I'd rather take a risk and take a chance of being honest to myself. So if something resonates with somebody that has built a life and is still struggling with something, send them this video. Your friend in this, Claudiu.